Chapter 2: The Concept of Love. Cultural definition: love as a feeling. In contemporary culture, love is predominantly viewed as a feeling, a powerful, often overwhelming emotion that captures the heart and mind. This romanticized perspective is deeply embedded in popular media, literature, music, and art. The notion of love as an intense and spontaneous emotion has become the hallmark of modern relationships, influencing how people perceive and pursue love. Love in popular media, movies, television shows, and novels frequently depict love as a passionate and exhilarating experience. Characters fall in love at first sight, swept away by an inexplicable connection. This portrayal emphasizes the spontaneous and serendipitous nature of love, suggesting that it is something that happens to individuals rather than something they choose or cultivate. For instance, romantic comedies often revolve around the idea of finding the one, a perfect partner who completes and fulfills the protagonist. These narratives reinforce the belief that love is primarily about personal happiness and satisfaction. The climax of such stories usually involves a dramatic declaration of love, often accompanied by grand gestures, reinforcing the idea that love is an intense and all-consuming emotion. Love as physical attraction. In addition to emotional intensity, cultural definitions of love frequently emphasize physical attraction. Beauty and desirability are often depicted as key components of romantic love. This emphasis on physical appearance can lead to superficial relationships, where the depth of emotional and spiritual connection is overshadowed by physical allure. Magazines, advertisements, and social media perpetuate these ideals, showcasing attractive individuals in romantic scenarios. The underlying message is that love is closely tied to physical attraction and that maintaining one's appearance is crucial for sustaining love. This perspective can create unrealistic expectations and pressures, leading individuals to prioritize physical attributes over deeper, more meaningful qualities. Love as personal fulfillment. Another significant aspect of the cultural definition of love is the focus on personal fulfillment. Love is often portrayed as a means of achieving happiness and completeness. The idea is that finding the right partner will lead to a blissful and fulfilling life. This perspective places a heavy burden on relationships, as partners are expected to meet all of each other's emotional needs and desires. Self-help books and relationship guides frequently promote the idea that love is about finding someone who makes you happy. This can lead to a self-centered approach to relationships, where individuals are more concerned with what they can gain rather than what they can give. The result is often a transactional view of love, where the primary goal is personal satisfaction. The fleeting nature of cultural love. Cultural love, with its emphasis on intense emotions and physical attraction, tends to be fleeting. When the initial passion fades, relationships often struggle to endure. The idea that love should always be exciting and thrilling can lead to dissatisfaction and disillusionment when faced with the realities of daily life. This transient nature of cultural love is reflected in high divorce rates and the prevalence of short-term relationships. When love is viewed primarily as a feeling, it becomes vulnerable to changes in mood and circumstances. The lack of a deeper foundation can make it difficult to sustain love through challenges and hardships. Biblical definition: love as a choice. 1 Corinthians chapter 13 verses 4 to 7. In contrast to the cultural definition, the biblical perspective presents love as a deliberate and intentional choice. This understanding of love is rooted in the teachings of the Bible, particularly the Apostle Paul's description in 1 Corinthians chapter 13 verses 4 to 7. Here, love is characterized by a series of actions and attitudes that reflect a commitment to the well-being of others. First Corinthians chapter 13 verses 4 to 7 provides a comprehensive definition of love that highlights its enduring and selfless nature. The passage reads, "Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs." Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. This description presents love as a series of choices and actions that prioritize the well-being of others over self-interest. Each aspect of this definition reflects a different facet of love, emphasizing its depth and complexity. Love is patient. Patience is a cornerstone of biblical love. It involves enduring difficult situations and people without becoming frustrated or angry. This aspect of love requires a commitment to understanding and compassion, allowing for growth and change over time. Patience in love means giving others the space to make mistakes and learn, supporting them through their journey rather than demanding immediate perfection. Love is kind. Kindness in love is about actively seeking to do good for others. It involves being considerate, generous, and compassionate. Kindness is expressed through acts of service, words of encouragement, and a general attitude of care and concern for others. It goes beyond mere politeness, aiming to uplift and support those around us. Love does not envy. Envy can be destructive in relationships, leading to resentment and division. Biblical love is free from envy, rejoicing in the successes and happiness of others. It seeks to build up rather than tear down, celebrating the achievements and blessings of those we love. This aspect of love fosters a sense of community and mutual support rather than competition. Love does not boast and is not proud. Humility is a key characteristic of biblical love. It involves recognizing the value and contributions of others without feeling the need to elevate oneself. Boasting and pride can create barriers in relationships, leading to a lack of genuine connection. Love, according to the Bible, is marked by humility and a willingness to place others above oneself. Love does not dishonor others. Respect is an essential component of love. Biblical love honors others, treating them with dignity and respect. This involves speaking and acting in ways that uphold the value of others, avoiding actions or words that belittle or demean. Love that honors others creates an environment of trust and mutual respect. Love is not self-seeking. Selflessness is at the heart of biblical love. It involves putting the needs and interests of others before one's own. This self-giving nature of love is exemplified in the life and teachings of Jesus Christ, who modeled sacrificial love. Self-seeking behavior undermines relationships, while selfless love builds strong and enduring connections. Love is not easily angered and keeps no record of wrongs. Forgiveness and patience are integral to biblical love. It involves letting go of past grievances and choosing not to hold on to anger or resentment. This aspect of love promotes reconciliation and healing, allowing relationships to move forward rather than being bogged down by past hurts. By keeping no record of wrongs, love fosters an environment of grace and renewal. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. Biblical love is aligned with truth and righteousness. It rejects evil and celebrates what is good and true. This commitment to truth involves being honest and transparent in relationships, as well as upholding moral and ethical standards. Love that rejoices with the truth creates a foundation of trust and integrity. Love always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. The enduring nature of biblical love is emphasized in these final attributes. Love is protective, providing a sense of security and safety. It is trusting, fostering confidence and reliance in relationships. Love is hopeful, looking forward to a positive future. It is also persevering, steadfastly enduring through challenges and hardships. This resilient nature of love ensures that it remains strong and unshaken, regardless of external circumstances. The impact of these differing definitions on relationships and society. The contrasting definitions of love, cultural as a feeling and biblical as a choice, have profound implications for relationships and society. These differing perspectives shape how individuals approach love, form connections, and sustain relationships. Understanding these impacts can help us navigate the complexities of love in a way that promotes healthier and more fulfilling relationships. Impact on relationships. The cultural view of love as a feeling often leads to unrealistic expectations and unstable relationships. When love is seen primarily as an intense emotion, it becomes subject to fluctuations in mood and circumstances. This can result in relationships that are highly passionate but short-lived. The initial excitement can quickly give way to disappointment and disillusionment when the reality of everyday life sets in. In contrast, the biblical view of love as a choice promotes stability and resilience in relationships. By grounding love in intentional actions and attitudes, it becomes less vulnerable to the ebb and flow of emotions. This perspective encourages individuals to invest in their relationships, prioritizing commitment and selflessness over personal gratification. The result is a more enduring and fulfilling connection that can weather the challenges of life. The cultural emphasis on physical attraction and personal fulfillment can also lead to superficial relationships. When love is based primarily on appearance and immediate satisfaction, it lacks the depth needed for long-term sustainability. This can result in relationships that are more transactional than transformational, with partners seeking to extract benefits rather than genuinely investing in each other's well-being. Biblical love, with its focus on selflessness and commitment, fosters deeper and more meaningful connections. By prioritizing the well-being of others, it creates an environment where both partners can thrive. This approach to love encourages personal growth and mutual support, leading to relationships that are both nurturing and transformative. Impact on society. The cultural definition of love has broader societal implications as well. The emphasis on personal fulfillment and individual happiness can contribute to a more self-centered and consumerist society. When love is viewed as a commodity to be acquired for personal pleasure, it reinforces a culture of instant gratification and disposability. This perspective can lead to a lack of commitment and responsibility in relationships, with individuals more likely to abandon connections that no longer serve their immediate needs. This cultural view of love can also contribute to social fragmentation. When relationships are based primarily on personal satisfaction, they are more likely to dissolve when challenges arise. This can result in a higher incidence of broken families and unstable social structures. The lack of enduring commitment can undermine the stability of communities, leading to a more transient and disconnected society. In contrast, the biblical definition of love promotes a more cohesive and resilient society. By emphasizing commitment, selflessness, and enduring patience, it fosters relationships that are stable and supportive. This perspective encourages individuals to invest in their families and communities, creating a strong foundation for social cohesion. The focus on mutual support and self-giving love can lead to a more interconnected and compassionate society. Furthermore, the biblical view of love aligns with broader ethical and moral principles. By prioritizing truth, righteousness, and respect, it promotes a culture of integrity and accountability. This perspective encourages individuals to act with honesty and honor, upholding the dignity of others. The result is a society that values ethical behavior and fosters trust and cooperation. Conclusion. In this chapter, we have explored the contrasting definitions of love from cultural and biblical perspectives. The cultural view of love as a feeling emphasizes intense emotions, physical attraction, and personal fulfillment. While this perspective can lead to passionate and exciting relationships, it often lacks the depth and stability needed for long-term sustainability. In contrast, the biblical view of love as a choice presents a more enduring and selfless understanding. Grounded in the teachings of 1 Corinthians chapter 13 verses 4 to 7, biblical love is characterized by patience, kindness, humility, and commitment. This perspective promotes stable and resilient relationships, fostering personal growth and mutual support. The impact of these differing definitions extends beyond individual relationships to society as a whole. The cultural emphasis on personal fulfillment can contribute to a more self-centered and fragmented society, while the biblical focus on selflessness and commitment promotes social cohesion and ethical behavior. As we continue to explore the concept of love in this book, we will delve deeper into the practical applications of biblical love, examining how it can transform our lives and relationships. By embracing a more profound and self-giving understanding of love, we can create connections that are not only fulfilling but also enduring, building a stronger and more compassionate society.